hear all of that. These mics are strong.
Yeah. It's your boy Real Talk Marv, and welcome to the pilot episode of Views from the Friend Zone. Now, the title "Views from the Friend Zone" doesn't mean that the show is going to be completely about being in the friend zone. The show is going to be about different vantage points, right? My vantage point is from the friend zone, but my dudes, they're going to speak from all different vantage points. So I'm going to have my team introduce themselves. Guys, introduce yourselves.
Yo, it's your boy Sensei, the one and only. Love me, hate me, nothing in the middle. Alright? I ain't gonna get all into my history or my present or my future, but you'll learn to love me.
My name is Bacardi Dog. You get to know me as weeks go on.
Yeah. So the first topic we're going to talk about is fatherhood, right? Father's Day is coming up in a couple of days, in 2 weeks actually, but we wanted to talk about fatherhood as one of the intro things to talk about. Fatherhood, it seems like it's not respected in our environment, right? It seems like Mother's Day is so special, but for some reason we don't get the same love for Father's Day. Tupac has his song, Dear Mama. There's all special Mother Day songs. However, when it comes to Father's Day, there's all songs like Father Was a Rolling Stone, Forget My Father, no love for that. So, fatherhood. Our first topic is, how has your relationship with your father affected you? We're gonna view that topic from 3 different vantage points. But the first point is, how has your father influence or your relationship with your father affected your relationships with women?
How has it affected me with my woman?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, my relationship with my father, it definitely affected me in a lot of ways. I think most deeply with my children and how I deal with them as a father. See, I'm a father of 4. I have 2 beautiful girls, 2 energetic, wonderful boys, and that's my life right now. I would say my father has affected me with women in general because I always aspire to do the opposite of what he's done. But I'm going to tell you something about parents in general. DNA is strong. You can try as hard as you want to be opposite your parents and do the opposite of what they did, but their DNA is in you, and sometimes it's going to influence your behaviors. You know what I mean? I seen it. I had to take measures to not be my father in general.
All right, that's cool. What about you, Bacardi?
Well, I'm quite different from my father. My father was still is. He's not there. I said was. He's a great guy. I try to emulate certain things about him, but I fell short because some of my activities and things I chose to do, I shouldn't have. But my influence with ladies, he was married twice. Married my mom for 20-some years and another lady. And I had multiple ladies that emulate him. But now I'm married and I'm being just like him.
Okay, so I don't know, like my relationship with my father, it influenced me to be a good husband. You know, I seen how much, like, no matter how much he struggled, no matter how hard things were, he was always supportive of my mother, and he always loved my mother. Even though he wasn't like a PDA kind of person, even when he wasn't the person to show love to everyone, they had a special bond. You know what I'm saying? So my father was the first person to show me, you know, how to treat a woman. He wasn't perfect, but I know that the love he had for my mother was strong. And that commitment showed me that, you know what, I didn't want to be out there having so many ladies in my life. I really wanted to commit to a woman and be a strong husband, you know?
That's the opposite of what I had. So you a lucky man. Nah, but I would say one thing, and that was my father, his influence on me. He wasn't in my life nearly as much as my grandfather.
Yeah.
So I was blessed.
Your grandfather was a good man. Like he was everybody's father figure in the neighborhood.
Exactly. So if I follow his blueprint, you know, I realize what it is to be a committed husband, a provider for your family, and to take care of your kids first and foremost. That was my grandfather, you know. But like I said, DNA is strong, and my grandmother used to always say, because I ain't listen, I had to experience things first. You can just tell me don't do it. I don't experience it. And she was like, you just like your father, you know, you stubborn, you got your mind made up, or whatever the case may be. I used to hate to hear that, but unfortunately, you know, it's true sometimes. Bacardi.
So, do you think that the way that you saw your father interact with your mother motivated you to treat women a certain way? Or did you see a good example, ignored it, and said, F it, man, I want as many women as possible? You could be honest about it.
In some ways, to answer that question differently, but to answer the question, my mother and father was to fight. And that deterred me when I got older to say I never will put my hands on a lady. And I haven't. But,
that's funny. Because you talk about my mother and father used to fight. That just reminds me of a story that my mother has told me plenty of times. My mother's not a ninja, but she has thrown a knife and has caught my father in the back with it. I can't forget that story.
I hope the statute of limitations is over on situations like that.
Oh, this is years ago.
Okay.
See, so I mean,
because we're not trying to get nobody no new charges.
Nah, my mother, she good on that one. I mean, she probably was a minor at the time anyway, because I'm just putting all my business out there.
Doing it early.
My mama had me at a young age. She's only 15 years older than me, and my father was 18 when I was born. So they was just young and dumb. I asked my mother why she started dating my father. She said, oh, well, all the other girls liked him, so I started dating him. I didn't really like him like that. So, yeah, that's kind of my impression of relationships. Starting off, you know, as I grow up, you learn. You learn what's right, you learn what's wrong, you learn what's right for you. But sometimes, some people don't. You know what I mean? They get caught in that cycle.
So I'm going to move on to the next topic regarding on the influences of fathers, right? And I'm going to lean on you guys to be the, you know, subject matter expertise on this, because although I'm a godfather to a couple of children, I'm not an actual father at this point, right? So how has the influence of your father and his presence affected your relationship with your children?
The influence of my father have on my life and how it affects my child is that my child is defiant. She doesn't want that unconditional love, and I don't know it's because of her spending more time with her mother. Her love is built on conditions. Like, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you don't get X, Y, and Z. You know, other than like just ask her. You know, it's just love and effect, and it's like gotta be bored or with a paycheck or sneakers and stuff like that. It's a work in progress. It's not like how I have relationships with my father where I know where everything was done genuine.
So, a lot of people aren't, born in a two-family home. A lot of people have a mother. Some people just have a father. But we know in our society, it's mostly considered just, moms are there, right? So, do you think the lack of fathers in the families is causing a strain on the black community?
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't have my father present in my life on a day-to-day basis. He was in and out. He'd be here like 2 years and then he'd disappear, or he was just out there. He was in my life a good portion of the time, I could say, but a lot of times when I was younger, you don't even remember that. But I always had my grandfather, so that was the stable male figure that I needed, along with my mother. So it's not a guarantee. It's just that there's a lot of kids that's in two-family or two-parent households, I should say, and they messed up, just like the ones that's not. But does it help? I would say no, because I feel like, and with boys especially, a boy needs a male figure, whether it be his own father, whether it be his grandfather, or older brother, uncle. He needs some kind of male figure to follow, or he's going to follow something out in the street, which a lot of, if you speak about the black community, a lot of us tend to go towards, you might find that big homie who's in the gang, or that big homie out in the street hustling, whatever, and he look out for you. That's the male figure that you look up to. So you don't even have to be a family member, but you need that as a boy.
Like,
agree with that?
like for me, like I said, I don't have any children, right? But I just know the influence that my father had. It made me think about it, because growing up, I had a rocky relationship with my father. Things wasn't always good and stuff like that. He was kind of hard on us, and then I didn't get to see the full impact of having both parents to one day when I was a young teen, about 16. I'm talking to my moms, and I'm just like, at the time it was turbulent. So I was just like, Mom, we don't got to stay here. We could just go, leave my father, because it was just like, arguing, bickering, stuff like that. And then my mother said, you guys love me because, I get to take care of you guys. I buy you guys clothes and stuff like that. But your father keeps the roof over our head. Your father makes sure that all the bills are paid. And even though he doesn't show you that love that you guys want, he helps keep everything running.
It's a different kind of affection.
You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying?
I don't know if it's
exactly
a Caribbean man thing and stuff like that. Some Caribbean men can be loving to a kid. Some Caribbean men just keep a stern, deposition, a stern attitude
that's
completely.
The way it's supposed to be, because a mother is a nurturer. And my mother always told me, because my father wasn't present constantly, and even though my grandfather was there, she felt like I didn't have a consistent male figure. She said, you got to be hard on boys. So my mother was hard on me, you know what I mean? Because she was my mother, which was supposed to be a nurturer, but she ain't want me to be no punk. You know what I mean? She didn't want me to be no soft little punk coming up. So she was like, I got to be harder on him. And that's just what she was. You know what I mean?
I think there's a difference because, like, my father provided for me, but he just wasn't affectionate though. Like, only time I can remember being my pops is like we just watch a Knick game or he was in like a routine. He come from work, scratch my head and go to the room. I ain't seeing him too much. We ain't doing much. But when I got older, I appreciated him more. It's just that he'll call me today and be like, it's raining outside, have an umbrella. Or we're hood. You know what I mean?
Still giving you advice,
Yeah,
no matter how old you are.
Yeah, you be like, alright.
I'm like, alright, thanks, Dad. What would I do without you? Type. But what he really means, I'm talking about that unconditional love I said earlier with my daughter, is that he care everything about me, no matter what time, how old am I. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I talk to my father, and he say something about my brother. He goes, you're 5 years, 4 weeks, 3 days apart. Like, don't do that shit.
Like, the way he wasn't affectionate, you didn't think he would even consider
Right.
that or remember stuff like that, It's Go ahead.
No,
I just think being a black man, it's sometimes hard to express it, hard to show love or whatever.
Well, I don't know how old your father was when you were born.
20, 25.
25. So imagine 25 years old. You're not even sure what you're doing with your life, right?
Exactly.
My father had me at 18. So he's still a child, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's like, even some of the fathers that are present now, they having kids much earlier. You know what I mean? So you haven't even realized who you are completely as a person. And now you got to be a father to another.
And here you're supposed to set examples where
exactly
you don't even have life experiences to set examples.
I think that's what happens. And then as they go on in life and get older, they start to, I guess, learn and want to establish, I guess, that father-son relationship. Even though you already grown, you know what I mean? It's never too late. And I think that's what happens, you know, because let me tell you, parenting is, they got a million books on it, but can't nobody tell you how
you got to drive that car. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's not cookie cutter.
It's not a 1, 2, 3, follow these instructions and you get it right. No, don't work like that.
All right. So the last aspect of fatherhood that we're going to discuss is, how has your relationship with your father affected the man you have become today? Like for me, my father's example of that's always making sure the bills are paid and stuff like that. Like me, I don't play games. I make sure all my bills are paid, and then whatever I have left over is what I have left over. That's one of the main lessons I learned from him. You know, I lost my father about a year ago, and I just always sit back to like the different advice he gave me. It plays in my head. It keeps me focused. It keeps me grounded. Like, I'm a serious person, and I was allowed to become, educated and, successful in terms as far as how society see you contributing to society because of the influences of my father. My mother allowed me to be a good man and taught me how to, be a good, treat women right. And then my father taught me how to be responsible as a man. So how has your relationship with your father molded you, man?
How has your relationship with your father
molded you, made you the man you are today? In what ways?
Oh, basically, somewhat like you said, like being a provider. Like I was telling Sensei earlier that my father worked 46 years, and at one of his jobs and got a part-time job for 19 years.
Damn, that's tough.
Provide, and he didn't take a day off for 19 years, and he instilled that work ethic in me. I go to work every day, no matter how party, no matter what I do, and that's it. Hard working.
What about you?
Sometimes you learn from what not to do.
Yeah, what example not to follow? I was gonna.
My father, he probably didn't even realize how many examples he gave me or things he taught me just by I seen his mistakes. You know what I mean? I learned from his mistakes. As far as those morals and things of that nature, I learned all of that from my mother for the most part, and my grandfather as well. But my father. he showed me what not to do as far as getting caught up and doing things. Like, my father wasn't the smartest man, but he thought he was. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. I'm gonna take that back.
Okay.
My father was too smart for his own good. He was, I think, like valedictorian in high school. He spoke 4 languages or whatever. But he got caught up in the streets. You know what I mean? He decided he wanted to be a hustler, and he broke one of the 10 crack commandments. Never get high on
your own supply. Yeah.
So, that kept me out of hustling. I'm not going to say I never thought about hustling. But then I said, my pops used to hustle. I used to see him back big stacks of money. But he failed at it. And I'm not saying I would fail at it too. But I'm like, I'm not going to make the same mistake he made. Same thing with kids. My father got I'm the oldest of all my siblings. But we still not sure. It's between 8 and 10. Out there, wow. You know what I mean? He got a lot of kids.
Well, I think that's one way you kind of like your father. You got a couple kids yourself too. You got a team. You one short from a starting 5. You know what I mean?
Listen. Anyway, I learned that we have strong swimmers.
You guys are potent as hell in your family.
So, but he wasn't present, and he was present at some time, I guess, in each of his kids' life, but he wasn't consistently there. And I seen him even have some of the nastiest arguments, even with me, like the way he would talk to his kids. Maybe he wasn't in the right state of mind or whatever the case may be. And I said, you know what? I'm never going to be that. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to be that. I'm always going to be there for my kids. They ain't never going to have to wonder where I'm at or why they ain't seen me. So that's a valuable lesson that he taught me just by his actions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the type
You
of
know,
thing.
I forgot what movie it was. It was a funny line. I want to say it might be Denzel, or it could be Clifton Powell when he said, "If you need a son, I could hook you up." Do you remember that?
I think that was Denzel.
I can't remember what movie that was.
Denzel.
Hold on a second.
I-
Hold on a second. It's funny that you said that because like I know your pop. Like I don't. I guess because he's not my father. I didn't see them things. You know what I mean? I saw him as a
See,
hustler,
different.
a cool dude, like getting paper.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he that dude. But
He's the same guy who took me to see Malcolm X and also took me to see Minister Society when I was too young to go see
Yeah.
Minister.
I kept it real with you. Sometimes you gotta make a little dude a man
Yeah,
early.
I understand that, but I'm just saying he showed me things in a different way, and now I feel like it's reversed. It's crazy because my pops is in his second or third childhood. I swear, I think from his substance abuse, they say when you start using drugs,
That's
you
when your
don't
mind stops
mature.
developing.
Your mind stops developing.
That's a
So
fact.
I think he started at like late, maybe early 30s. So he's like 51 now. He's 18 years older than me, so no, 50, like 53, something like that. But yeah, he's 35 really.
Yeah.
He hasn't matured in a lot of ways. So
All right, so we're going to move on to the next topic. The next topic is a little lighter. It's a little more fun. And it's just, to me, I always tell people summer's my favorite season because like summer dresses and barbecues and things like that. Things that you know that are visually nice, right? So this topic is called Single for the Summer. And we know so many people are in relationships all winter, all spring, but for some reason, when the flesh starts showing, people start acting out, both men and women. But sometimes people develop this persona that they're single for the summer, right? So the first question for the topic, single for the summer, is summer cheating season?
go ahead, Cliff,
Bacardi, you start us off with that.
I mean, I'm married, but it can be if you're into that right now. But I guess it's certain things. Everything is out in the open. Everybody doing what they want to do. You know, it's, schools are out. You know, kids away at camps or whatever. People have more free time to do what they want to do. You know,
Kids away at camp.
yeah, parents are getting there. Like,
I want you guys to know that this show is, we try not to hold back, right? So don't be nice. Don't be nice. Don't give corny answers.
Kids away.
Keep it. All right. So Sensei, let them know. It's summer cheating season.
Summer is probably the season that most people cheat. I wouldn't call it cheating season. I would just say I honestly believe the weather does have an effect on you. And women can attest to this. They get hot like we get hot. It's hot outside. What happens in the summer? Women wearing less clothing. You know what I mean? They showing off their products. It's like they advertising for the winter. They're like, I'm trying to get booed up for the winter, so I got to show what I got in the summer. Cheating season, I wouldn't say, because if your relationship is strong, you probably with your girl more so than anything. Now y'all going out more in the summertime, you know, and you just got to make sure you got your shades on.
I think if I keep it real, I think summer's cheating season because it's just like, you know, for some reason.
If you're going to cheat, you don't need a season. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. That's understood.
Right?
That's understood.
Fall,
Cheating happens.
Spring. What's spring?
Cheating happens 365. I get
Exactly.
that. But for some reason, I feel like cheating escalates. I feel like people do wild stuff. People want to break up easier because it's summertime. They're like, yo, there's a lot of things out there. I got more choices. So I ain't dealing with that headache.
Yeah, I agree with that. Girls start making you feel good in the summer. They don't care about you in the winter. You all buttoned up. You looking like everybody else. They just trying to get out the cold.
They trying to stay
homeless and
warm.
they trying to get a place to live.
And I also think if you keep it real, it's just like this. You know, people are less looking for a place to live in the summertime because they don't want to roll around. So they'll take those chances, right? That dude who sleep on couches and like
It's a
wifey
lot
up
more
chicks he don't want to
one-night
be
stand.
with in the wintertime to stay warm might take some more risks during the
It's a
summertime.
lot more one night stands.
I guess I never looked at it like that, but yo, I ain't never realized that you said cheating had a season. I don't know, man. Like,
Nah, I
Like
don't
you said,
believe that.
cheating's all year round, but for some reason it's more temptation in the summer.
I would agree with that. It's temptation.
Yeah, more
It's definitely
temptation
more
because-
temptation. If you a cheater and you willing to cheat on your girl, you gonna say, "Oh well, I seen this bad thing, but it's only November, December. I'm gonna holler at her in June and July." No, you gonna go then. What you gonna wait for? It's cold outside. Yeah, you probably don't want to be outside as much, but I'm just saying, you're a cheater. You're a cheater.
All right, so I'm gonna ask the next question on this topic. Why do people play single for the summer and forget that they're in a relationship?
People more willing to go out, do things.
I don't know.
It's harder to get a date in the winter.
Because
I
even
don't know.
let's keep it real, right?
People pay
When
single.
it's like, all right, so let me give you an example, right? So sometimes, you chilling and stuff like that, and it's winter, it's cold. Dudes be like, nah, man, I'm gonna see y'all later. I'm just go lay up with wifey. It's cold out here and shit like that. But summertime come around, dudes be like, yo, man, I'm trying to get into something, man. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? What's the next move?
because it's nice outside. We outside. Like, we've been bundled up for all months. Now we just outside enjoying the festivities, the sundresses or whatever, but I can't,
Well, so why do you forget that you're in a... Not you, but why do men
Wait.
forget
Before
they're
we
in a
even got on this
relationship?
topic, you know what I mean? We got to let it be known. Marv is married. Bacardi Dark is married. I'm in a committed relationship. And I'm a divorcee. So I have actually experienced the cheating thing and all of that. And yeah, it might have happened in the summer. But that's just a coincidence.
It's just a coincidence,
It's just
right?
a coincidence. So, that's why it's so crazy, because it's views from the friend zone. Ain't none of us in the friend zone at this
It's a
moment.
vantage point. I didn't get a
But
chance to really do that.
yeah.
I'll do that after this topic and give a little more
We've been
background of
there.
it.
We've been
But-
there. You can get out of the friend zone too, just so you know. All you dudes that think you stuck there, no, you're not stuck there. Let me just tell you that.
Okay. So, but any other insight on why do you think dudes forget that they in a relationship during the summertime, or females too, right?
Yeah, I think dudes don't never forget. They don't, no matter what the season. It's the females who be like, it's summer, or you acting up, you out with your boys, hanging out.
Dudes
late.
are hollering at me too.
Then those friend zone dudes is constantly checking up on her. Oh, you in the house by yourself again? He out drinking again with his boys.
Let me
If I
come
had
through
a
with
girl
that
like
bottle.
If I had a girl like you, I would never leave the house.
You know what I'm saying?
until the winter.
So, all right. So the next topic for the single for the summer, the next portion is: does the warm weather make people more horny? Like, if you think about it, in your own recollection, your own experience and stuff like that, do you think you get it popping more in the summertime when it's warm, or popping when it's cold?
When I was younger, I just took it as an excuse. But now, it ain't no, every day I'm the same now,
Yeah.
All seasons. I'm horny all the time, man. Yeah, I'm horny all the time.
I sum it up like this in one phrase. They say, what do they say when an animal is horny?
They in heat.
They in heat. When are we in heat? And it's hot outside.
It's hot outside.
In the summertime.
Yeah.
But you would think it'd be opposite, because I'd be like, it's cold out. I want to be warmed up. You know what I'm saying? I want some loving, because, summer sex is, especially if she ain't got no AC, it's hard.
Some sex is a struggle, but
And
certain
do the right thing, right?
right
Go get the ice, Rosie.
certain struggles people endure though. So it's just like, yo,
I would say it's the weather. The weather, would make you think that more so, I guess. Like I said, that's just, women is quicker to take off their clothes because they hot.
yeah. So if you could think about the summer weather and stuff, do you think that you've done wilder sexual things in the summertime because it's just like you outside, you like, yo, let me try this or let me try that,
Wait, what you mean we outside? We outside getting it in?
I mean, let's keep it real. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you get it in the park. Sometimes you get it in at the beach. You know what I'm saying? In the wintertime,
you got it in outside?
I've got it in outside.
You got it in outside?
Outside.
I've got it in outside.
Rooftop.
In the pool. You know what I'm saying?
In the pool? Is that a public pool?
Not a public pool. You know, let me shut my mouth up. But in the pool, in the hot tub, you know what I'm saying? You go on vacations, and you doing outdoor activities, and then
that's what I'm saying. Now it's like in the wintertime, you know, you only getting it in a warm, isolated environment, probably your home. You know what I'm saying? In the summertime, it's like, yo, if you feeling freaky, you could go behind this bush. You know what I mean? It's just a different mindset because it's like everybody's on.
I think because we more socialized. Yeah, everybody's outside. People getting drunk. Like, we from New York.
And people angry in the winter. You know what? I think people more
because
friendly
it's too damn
in the summer.
cold. You in my way. I'm trying to get inside. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. People's personalities, and especially in New York. When you're in New York, it's, you know, it's hard.
But it's more shootings. We going on a tangent, but
in the summer?
it's a lot of shootings in the summer because it's dumb hot.
Because
people are angry
girls
too.
is getting smashed. That's why they're shooting people. I mean, they hot. Not only are you hot sexually, you hot tempered. It's just hot. Everything is hot in the summer.
Yeah.
So people got shorter tempers, but they also got less
I don't
to
even
take
think
to
the
get in their box.
that's just ignorance. People going
That's
shoot to shoot,
ignorance?
but I'm saying shoot to shoot.
You don't think the weather has an effect on? Even the animals are affected by the weather.
I
They
think
migrate. They only mate during certain seasons. So we are no different. That's the problem. We think we're different than animals. We're not too far removed.
We went on a real tangent, right? All right, so
I wasn't about animals. I don't like animals, but
I'm gonna move on, right? And then I'm gonna go to the wild card segment. Wild card segment is the fellas doesn't know the question I'm going to ask, you know. So my wild card question is: it's easy to say, have you ever had a one night stand? But my question is, what's the fastest from introduction to bed have you ever experienced?
this is my cousin right here. I tell him I got a whole bunch of like.
I know you got some stories, Bacardi. Let them know.
I can't do it.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
What you mean you can't do it? Listen, you gotta put it out.
I done.
Yeah, he
All
got
right.
some stories. He told me some stories. I'm like,
He told me some stories
I'm gonna tell you
too.
a quick one real quick. I was at a club and I was dancing with a lady, and before the song was off, we went outside and she sucked me off. Didn't even ask me my name or nothing. Like,
that was in the summertime.
See,
Summertime.
me being friend zone Marv, stuff like that never happened to me, yo.
Yeah, I don't.
I always have these long courtships and hollering at chicks and stuff like that. I never got that instant slip off and something happen. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I could say, you want to expand on that
Well,
story?
but
You had something quicker than that?
I'm a little hyper right
I
now.
don't think you had nothing quicker than that.
Nah, that's it. Before the song went off, I got it. Before the song started.
Damn, so Bacardi Dark said the average song is 3 to 5 minutes. So I don't know what kind of monkey eyes or sexual eyes he gave that female. But before the song ended, he was outside
That's why I always believe
getting
what they
some
say.
fellatio, which
A
is
woman,
crazy.
when she knows if she will screw a guy within the first minute of meeting him. I believe that to be true.
I feel like I've always had to be a salesman. I've always had to sell you
this
on
feeling.
why you want to give me something.
Why you want to give me something?
You know what I'm saying? I gotta let you know, like, they always see me, they're like, you know what? I'm gonna be real. Some people just like, oh, he's cute or whatever, but I'm not into big guys. So I always gotta be like, well, I made you laugh, I made you smile. Now I gotta sell you on why we need to escalate this from the laugh and the smile. That's been my life. It sucks. I mean, I'm married now, right? I'm married, so I'm not in that game anymore when I'm hollering at females and trying to, you know, smash and stuff like that. But it's just like, when I was a young pup, I would have liked to have not spent so much time being a salesman.
Yeah.
So what about you, Sensei? What is the fastest point from introduction to bed or into Let's
But
get it
definitely
on.
not as fast as Bacardi.
A song is crazy.
Because I am, and people who know me might find this hard to believe, I am a romantic. I do not, I've never had
You
a
too
one-night
romantic.
stand.
That's why you got 4 kids. But no, go ahead.
I've never had a one night stand. They call me double up because if I had it once and I have it twice, make sure it was just as nice.
Yeah.
That's a whole
Confirmation
nother one.
before you move on.
But so no, I wouldn't say my explorations into uncharted vagina was quick, but I'll tell you a story of the most rare kind of situation I had.
Yeah.
I actually slept with a woman off a wrong number.
Wow.
And that, can't believe I'm telling this story right now. But yes, it was. She called me. I was at work.
I remember you telling me
Remember I
about
told you
this.
this
Yeah.
story?
But go ahead, continue.
She called me. I was at work, and I was like, I don't know who she asked for or whatever. I was like, I said, you got the wrong number. And for some reason, when people call a number wrong, they call it back again. Like it's
Just
changed.
they thought
You know what I'm
they
saying?
typed a different number, but they typed the right number.
So she called me back again, maybe about 2-3 minutes later, and I was like, no. I was like, it's still me. But what's your name? I was bored at work at this time, and she started talking to me, so I started talking back, and I guess we continued talking. Not gonna say whether or not I was involved at this time, but I'll just say
Here at Views from the Friend Zone, we do not incriminate ourselves by providing chronological timelines of when things happen.
yes.
Everything that we discuss happened in a far past history time. Nothing happened.
Wait.
Nothing happened recently. Nothing happened while we're in situations that we completely respect.
But so I don't know the time frame as far as when you talking about meeting somebody in person, because we spoke on the phone a few times, and she lived in Pennsylvania. I'm in New York, so pretty much when she came to New York, that was our first time meeting, and it went down.
Hold up. I got another story.
Oh, he got another. Bacardi has another story. Let us know, Bacardi.
Stories. His memory just got to be jogged.
Yeah.
He's making it views from the one night stands.
Family member I was at a gambling spot in Brooklyn.
Uh-huh.
And I was too tired to go home. I didn't want to drive home. And I had a cousin live in Brooklyn. So I called her and I was like, yo, where you at? I'm going to stay at your house, till the morning. She said, I got a couple of my girlfriends. I'm about to pull up. I was already in front of her building. So by the time my cousin pulled up to the car with her 2 girlfriends up in front of her building, and by the time when we get upstairs to the house, riding the elevator together, talking to her friends, she keeps telling me, yo, don't mess with my friends because I mess with one of their brothers. Like, go ahead, man. So by the time we get from the elevator going to the house, my cousin, homegirl, go take a shower. I'm talking to my cousin. My cousin get out the shower. Me and Shorty smashed when my cousin went in the shower.
And you didn't know her before
No,
the
I met
situation.
on the elevator.
I don't know.
This is the
I don't know what
Sonic
cologne you.
Hedgehog
I don't know
of
what cologne you
smashing.
wear. I don't know what looks you give. But man, I don't have that. Like the quickest that's ever happened to me was like. I've had one night stands, but it's been like, kind of like, it was a one night stand kind of thing, but I knew the person and stuff like that. Well, could that be a one night stand where it's just like, you knew of the person, but this the first time y'all really hung out, it happened and then it never happened again?
But
I thought one night stand was just when you meet them, and then
That's it.
That's
I
it.
think with you,
So I'm kind of I'm muddying the
you kinda
description.
Like a head start.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know these people.
Like you motherfucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
But
But listen,
Smash game.
sometimes I'm gonna go get a more in certain areas.
He's ambitious.
I'm bitch.
No, you
Right?
know what it is about Bacardi?
I cut through the bullshit.
Yeah,
chase.
he don't do the fluff.
I have boys
You don't
who's like
do
that,
that.
but let me tell you,
And a lot of women respect that.
yeah.
You're like, listen,
But
baby,
let me tell you,
I
it
don't
only
care to
works
talk
for
to you
certain
about this.
people.
You wanna do
I
this?
have friends who say certain things to women that would get me arrested, but women laugh when they hear that stuff from certain people. I don't know if when I say it, I just look creepy or something like
Yeah.
that. But I have boys who's just like, you said that to her. I'm not gonna, of course, I never incriminate somebody. But I have boys I chilled with who, you know, they was looking at a girl from far in the club. They just walk over to them. And now they're groping this female up from a look. I would get arrested. No doubt about it. Arrested doing something like that.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes if they ready, you ready, it's like, you know, and you got that swag. Like, I guess you got that.
See, I'm doing the show, so I can't see if there's any comments and stuff like that. But I would love to hear from female vantage points as far as what's their mentality of the one night stand. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't call each other. I don't hear Cliff stories and say, "Damn, Cliff is a hoe." I think Cliff is my hero right now, right? But a woman hears that, it's like, "Oh, she a hoe."
You don't even know him.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you just want to get it. Like I said, this is my cousin, so I should tell him all my little past stories and things I did and all that though. But sometimes it just, you in some situations want to get it in though. You know.
It's funny, you know, men, we fabricate our stories to be more nasty than they probably was. Mm-hmm. Women fabricate their stories
to clean it up.
Wholesome, like
oh, I didn't. It wasn't a one night stand. I know his cousin from back in the day, exactly. So I actually know the family. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I thought like, you know, I just seen him and jumped on it. We had a conversation.
And he promised me he was going to call me, so I figured we was going to build on it. And then I changed my mind. You know what I'm saying? Whatever makes them sleep better, right? So we're going to move on to the next topic, right? So this next topic is a little deeper, right? So it's sort of like, you know, the Views from the Friend Zone podcast, we're going to be all over the place, right? It's different vantage points. And this topic is a serious topic called self-hate, right? It seems for some reason that we're hard on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We don't support each other. We don't support our community. We don't build in our community. We don't support our brands. You know what I'm saying? And it's sort of like, you know, okay, you hear this argument over and over again, but it's just like you go to certain communities. You go to a community that's considered a Jewish community, and everything's run by the Jewish people. You go to a community that's considered the Chinese community, and everything's run by a Chinese community. You go into the black community, a Chinese person might own a food store, a hair care product and stuff like that. You know, a Middle Eastern person probably owns a corner store. You know what I'm saying? So it's sort of like, why don't we take ownership in our own, right? And people might say, oh, we don't have the resources and stuff like that, but I don't even feel like it's a focus of ours, right? So the first topic of self-hate is, why do we openly this is a big one, right? Let me give you a little background. Is because we know tonight's game 2 and LeBron James is gonna put that work in, right?
Yeah.
But even though LeBron James is a world-renowned superstar known by his first name, you say LeBron, white, black, blue, whoever, people know who LeBron is, right?
And you got a feeling one way or another.
Yeah. So someone earlier this week painted nigger, and I try not to say the word, but I had to, the N-word. I should have said the N-word, but someone painted the N-word.
It's nigger. We can't dance around topics like this.
But someone painted the word, the N-word on his fence, right? And then people, a clown, I'm not going to give him Donkey of the Day because, you know.
He said it could have been somebody black?
No, you know, the Breakfast Club, I'm not going to copy this, but Jason Whitlock said, you know, the N-word is not that serious for LeBron. It was an inconvenience. It wasn't racist and stuff like that. He said that. But Whitlock is a clown, but that's a whole nother show. So, to bring it back in, why do we openly call each other the N-word and we lose our mind if someone from another race calls us the N-word?
Oh, you want to take it there?
Yeah.
Well, listen.
Because
I didn't know you was going to take it there. I want to get back to your original topic of self-hate and stuff. But I'm going to answer that question. Because I got a feeling.
Because that is a form of self-hate, right? Because don't get it twisted. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Hear me out. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say that I don't use the word. I sometimes when I'm with certain, like I was telling my wife the other day, It's like when I'm with certain company, the N word slips out. I'll never be at work and say that N word owes me a report, right? It will never come out.
Yeah.
But if I'm chilling with boys, like, yo, that N word try to front on me, right? So it's a condition that I condition myself that I want to work past, right? Because to me, there's no real power in the word. There's no benefit in the word. But I'll let you continue. I just want it to be known. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite about the N word, but we give. The N word is a hateful word. It was used to degrade us. And some people say, now we own it. And don't get it twisted, I've used it in the past, but it's just like, nah, man. We don't need to own. Let's own property. Let's not own the N word.
I agree. That's ignorant thinking. And I go back and forth with it sometimes too. Like, I don't need to call my brother a nigga to feel good about it, but that's what I do. I ain't gonna lie about it. But my thing is this. They said that to us to demean us and put us down during times of slavery, right? That was something to make you feel less than. So this is the power of the black community, the power of us as African Americans. You say, now we're going to take that and we're going to embody it and make it our own. And now you can't use it, all right? Because it's a different time. You can't use it without taking the risk of having your ass whipped because you don't never know. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, this was a word created by those oppressors, and now it's a word we use to show love. I mean, and it still could be hateful. Don't get me wrong. It's not all love, but at the same time, I think it's just dope to say, like, you took a bad situation and made it good in a sense. So you used this to hold me down. It did not work, and now I'm using it to show my brother love, because that's my N-word, so to speak. That's what I see.
No sense.
So, Bacardi, you let us know. Views from Bacardi Dark. You let us know what you feel about the N-word. And just to reiterate, even after you say your point, my question is, we gave it power, like you said, but then we lose our mind if somebody else uses it.
To me, it's just something that we do. We condition to do it, but however, it's something not for everybody. I mean, we ain't gonna try to correct that. Like you said, we should own property, say own the word, but it's like some things you can do that he can't do. You know what I mean? And you shouldn't do that. So I'm not gonna. Just everything ain't for everybody. Like we don't walk around and go, hey crack or hey Bob, whatever.
I think it's similar to women calling each other bitches.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother show.
We'll
bring that up later, but that's a whole nother show.
These women with their girlfriends call each other, oh yeah, that's my bed, that's my bed. You know what I'm saying? But let somebody else who they don't know call them that. It's like, who are you talking to? Oh, I thought that was your name because your girlfriend called you her bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's the same thing.
But as you were saying, in our culture and the community, sometimes, like, I saw a comedian the other day on HBO or whatever, and not to be funny, he was like, but we use the N-word is different. He said he had some potato salad or something. He was like, you had something? He was like, man, God. Like, you put your foot...
Like, you could use it multiple ways.
But it's just...
You can.
But I'm saying, again, that's amongst us. That's amongst what we do. Everybody can't do what we do.
Listen, I'm of the mind state, and I know it's not the same because times have changed. It's not slavery. But I'm of the sticks and stones mind state. Words will never hurt me. I've allowed some of my white friends, no lie, my white friends in college or wherever it is be, they've referred to me as my nigga.
I never let them get comfortable like that.
I've allowed it.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because it's a respect thing, right? Because my thing about it is, I don't want you to feel that you can have that kind of rapport with me where you don't show me respect. It's tough, right? Because I don't even like, if I don't know you like that, for you to use N-word for me. You could be black as midnight. But if I don't know you like that, I take it as disrespect because you're seeing me as an ignorant person. You're not seeing me as who I am. And
that's why I think you're giving too much power to the word.
No, but
that's why I think we give too much power to the word. Because
there's no real respect to it.
There's so many words in the dictionary. Right, so many offensive words people call. Don't call me a coon. That's what, listen, you call me all types of N-words. Don't call me no coon. I don't like that word. So I think you pick and choose what you would want to be referred to. So that's my thing. I think don't give too
But
much
that's
power
correct.
to the word,
But I
because once you
think-
do that, you give that person power over you by showing that they can affect you in a negative way just by saying this word. I'm not that weak. You can say a bunch of things to me. It's not gonna affect me.
Let me tell you.
Hold on, listen,
I'll let Bacardi go ahead.
It's something different. If right now, if he say that he smacked Caleb,
That's my daughter, by the
hold
way.
up, but you're gonna respond to it. You're not gonna investigate. You let them words affect you.
No, because that's an action. He's not telling just words. He's
No,
explaining
I'm
the
saying,
action.
But he could be lying. But you will go over there and
Okay.
do something.
Well, he
But I'm
now
saying,
his
though-
ass is lying.
Well, that's
I gotta
that's
get
the
him for lying.
implication. That's
I
the
don't know how
implication.
that
All right. I was
translates
gonna
with
say,
a
but anyway,
word.
the point I'm getting at is there's certain things that a man shouldn't say to another man, or some things we shouldn't say. And all of us are professionals, so we shouldn't want to jeopardize our freedom for a word. But sometimes certain things just get under our skin, and you shouldn't say to somebody else. Like if I'm like, yo, if I tell you suck me off, you know.
That's
Those
the
are
thing.
just
Has-
words,
has no
but
words.
it's a
Alright,
very
but-
disrespectful
No, no.
invite.
So has any of your peoples ever been like, yo, suck my, you know what? You telling me they never said that to you? Nobody?
And if they did, I checked them with me. And if I didn't know you, I want them to go ahead.
If you don't know me,
Just-
that is what's the name.
Just on the, if you said it to me, I'd be
Yeah.
like, yo, I don't play dick games. No, like that. We don't do that.
Okay.
So shit. You know what
I
mean?
understand that, but I still think like you can't be affected by a word to the point where you lose yourself and act out of character. No matter who's
But we
saying
human.
it.
We human.
You know what I'm saying?
We human. We lose
Because-
our minds over the last little bit of orange juice in the refrigerator sometimes. You know what I mean? We lose our minds. We lose
I
our
think
minds.
honestly, I think a white person would be more surprised if they riled you up. They had an intention of making you pissed and whatever by calling you the N-word, and you said, "Is that the best you can do?"
I got
I'm
called
supposed
the
to
N-word
be
by white
upset.
man last week.
Oh yeah,
But sometimes
and
they
they
try to
got you
set
riled up,
I
right?
chased him down. He lucky I ain't catch him.
But they try. Sometimes it's a bait, right? Sometimes you get baited with that. You know what I'm saying? But my thing about it is, what really bothered me is perception, right? So we walk around. Think about it. We like. I'm not disregarding what you said about the ownership of the word and stuff like that, right? But we're literally walking around wanting respect, and then they pretty much see us walking around calling each other one of the lowest things we can be called. That they saw us as less of a person. To be a nigga, you're like 3/5 of a person if you break it down to how laws used to be. And we're walking around embracing, calling each other
Right,
that
but-
like it's cool.
Look at the influence we have. It's not just us. There's freaking Asian kids saying, "What's up, my nigga?"
Because, but
You know
they're
what I
buying
mean?
into
Or
our
whatever.
culture. We don't
Spanish people
even
refer to
profit.
my nigga.
We're not
You know what I'm
even
saying?
profiting
It's
off of the
not-
culture.
Okay,
And that's
so
a
now
whole
you calling
different.
it a culture.
But no,
But
when
that's
you
more-
said the Asian person saying it, it's because they're adapting that from the
Hold
culture
on.
of the
You
hip
think
hop
it makes
culture.
them? You think it makes them more afraid?
Yeah, hold on a
Wait.
second.
You think it makes them more afraid that their children, right, use our slangs and stuff, like referring to themselves, white kids referring to themselves as, "Oh yeah, that's my nigga," blah blah blah. You think it makes them more afraid that has infiltrated their home to that point, or more,
They might have always
Like-
been in their home. And they let
but more like, or more happy that look how we referring to ourselves. You know what I mean? They just like, look at this.
I don't even think they're afraid that it's infiltrating their children and stuff like that. As far as the influence of what their children are going to become, or what their children will be, or how society their children. To them, they more feel like it's the audacity of their children dumbing down to that kind of a culture, not necessarily the influence of what they're going to be. That's my opinion. So let me get to the next question on this topic, right? And I kind of introduced this when I brought up the topic, and it's, why do we let other races get away with owning most of the businesses in our community, and why do we shop from others before we shop from ourselves?
I don't think we let other races get away with it. It's just that we think so little of ourselves. Like, our parents-
Like for instance, not to cut you off, but just from the question, it's like the Lonzo Ball and his father, right? The $500 sneakers that everyone's dissing. And I ain't gonna lie, they don't look good and stuff like that. But I've been seeing some some Balenciaga shoes that look crazy to me. That don't even look, as a heterosexual male, I don't even think I would be comfortable wearing those shoes. And men are wearing these shoes and they're like $1,500. They don't think twice.
Well, let me say, that's one of the problems right there. I'm gonna let you go, but we're some of the most materialistic people that there is. You know, I don't even know how to spell Balenciaga. What you say? Balenciaga. I don't know how to spell it. I don't care about it. My kids don't wear it, but they got clothes on their back and food in their belly. Balenciaga ain't gonna make them feel better about themselves. I'm just saying, that's we make some of the least amount of income out of all ethnicities,
and we spend the most. So, but we quick to want to give our money to somebody else. Like you said, we don't want to give it to each other. That's like we take planetary chances so we can have a Ferragamo belt, Balenciaga sneakers.
I got a Ferragamo belt in the car. Anybody want it, I'm selling it.
But you know what I'm saying? That's my problem. Like, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna. Although I work in a corporate setting, I'm not gonna sit there and lie and say that all of my people are corporate setting people. I have people who still involved in the street. I have people who get money that way and stuff like that. But we're not hustling to be like, you know what? I'm trying to build this business. I'm trying to make sure I have something to pass on to my kids. And I'm going to risk anything it takes for this to be successful. We hustling to make sure, like, yo, I got to shit on them with that Bentley, yo. I got to shit on them and buy a couple of bottles in the club. I'm going to take these penitentiary chances just so I can shine. Why not? I'm not saying take any penitentiary chances, but why is not like, yo, I'm dying. I'm going to do whatever it takes to build this business so that I know my legacy is firm. I'm leaving this behind.
But like I was going to say earlier, it's that most people in our community don't teach us to be entrepreneurs or ownership. They teach us to get a good job. Even our high school, our guidance counselors tell us to be X, Y, and Z. They don't teach us ownership, entrepreneur.
But we have to have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because I was telling my wife the other day, you know, did I cut you off? No, I was telling my wife the other day, like, we were sitting around and yesterday I was at a barbecue, and then my nephew, who just graduated Johns Hopkins, congratulations, got his master's, he's a rocket scientist. He was telling me how back in 2000, like Eric, space engineering crazy, like very smart dude, right? And he was sitting there telling me like how back when he was 13, 14, he told his parents to buy stock in A&G when the market was crashing because it went down so low. And if you had put money into it, you would have like 10, 15 times your money. Just think about that, right? What kind of wealth would have been generated? And he was 13 years old talking about stuff like that. And I told my wife, you see, I loved that we had that conversation because we was going around sharing different investment ideas and stuff like that. That's the kind of conversation that other people have on a regular. You'll more find us sitting around talking about love and hip hop on a regular
because these people too much.
No,
credit,
that's
bro.
not.
So then, yes,
how are these people? How are these ideas coming to?
If they're around there having these conversations on the regular, why are only 1% of the country wealthy? Bruh, it's not that many. That's the thing, and that's another mindset problem we have. We think so low of ourselves. We're like, oh, we're horrible, this, that, and the third in the black community. These people is messed up too. These people got they messed up too. Yeah, there's an upper echelon of people who don't settle for less, and then there's the ratchets. There's ratchets in every ethnicity.
There's ratchets in every ethnicity.
Don't get it twisted.
At all.
But no, to piggyback off something you said, with entrepreneurship, I listened just this morning. It's the Dame Dash interview on Breakfast Club. Yeah. And that was the first
you a
time
boss?
I've seen it.
I'm a boss. That stuff
he
like
said
that.
something that is my phrase for life now. His son, he said, will never have to call any man boss. He can't be fired because he owns his own. He said, hustle for your last name, not for your first. And what a lot of dudes do.
That's what I'm talking about. Take those chances for your own thing.
They want to look fly. They want to do this and that. If you got kids, you should look like a bum. But make sure your kids is straight. You know what I'm saying? Make sure their future is set. Because that's what you're working for. So that's what he meant by hustle for your last name, not for your first. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I respect that. Not everybody's an entrepreneur. You know, it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's worth it. That's why it's not easy. You know,
But I think it's a difference. Like go back, like dealing in the black community, we deal with so many different generations of dysfunction. So since we're dealing with dysfunction, we don't see ourselves living. We don't see ourselves being other things other than garbage men or whatever. Even if we got rappers and athletes, but that's like a small percent. So we don't have these conversations because we don't see ourselves. It's a good chance that we get shot by police. It's a good chance that we will get shot by another black person before we're 21 years old, or we're gonna be in prison. So once them three factors, you calculate them in, we're not having Fortune 500 conversations. We having.
That's what I'm saying.
Brick.
I think it's more the sharing, like
That's a fact, though. It's not Dr. Myers. This is a fact.
All right, it may be a fact, but you can't walk around thinking that every time you walk out your door, I could be shot by.
No. I'm not saying
I could be shot by police.
But I'm saying this though. A large percent think like that. A large percent of people say. First of all, I'm not gonna say it's designed to set up against us. What is it? 1 in every 4 black male gonna be in parole, probation, 4 years adult.
I'm not
Something
feeding
like,
in and
no.
statistics.
Whether it be true or not, a large percentage of every city and state around this country, people are messed up. Now, for some strange reason, people think it's cool not to go to school. No matter what movie, what TV show, or what block we go through, always see people in the corners. Why did we drop out of school?
I have no idea.
But we're doing it in abundance in every state, every city. If we got to change that thinking, if we not going to school, if we getting locked up, think we ain't gonna be shit, we'll be 35 and 40, we ain't gonna be shit. Working in Walmart. And I said Walmart's a billion dollar company. Yeah. I'm saying.
But you know what?
But it got to start from
before the last thing I'm gonna say on this topic before I move to the last question is, I feel we have to get rid of this live for today mentality. We do a lot of things just for the benefits of what we see for today. You know what I'm saying? And our parents would teach us, like, go to school, get a job, work for 30, 40 years, have a good retirement. Work for somebody else. We need to develop the conversation of how can we build our own things. But we also have to take pride in our own, right? Like, I don't think we take enough pride in our own. Like, everybody will cry because Beyonce didn't win the Grammy. But Beyonce would get 9 BET awards and we'd poo-poo it, right? Because we're not taking pride in the fact that we're recognized by our own. We still want Master to tell us that we're good enough.
And it's funny you say Master because that's where this all starts from. People say slavery has been over 400 plus years. Why are you still affected by it? Because
there's still effects out there.
Still affected by it because they did such a good job of divide and conquer. They divided and conquered us. All right, black people have not been trusting each other for years, and it's because of slavery. Like, if you gonna tell on me, I ain't gonna trust you. You know what I'm saying? Whether you black or not, you gonna tell on me. How am I gonna trust you? You gonna tell on me? We supposed to be working together.
Let Bacardi make his point. Then I'm gonna move on to the last question.
At work, right? I got this black dude that work with me. I don't know if 5% it is a poor righteous teacher.
I hear it on the street. You know what I'm saying?
So I work with a 5%, and every day he be dropping out, building whatever.
The word of the day is unity, like something like that.
But anyway, me and him be talking, right? And then you got this other dude that work with us. The owner's nephew smacked him, right? And then the other owner's cousin called him the N-word. So every day I look.
The same dude this happened to, he got slapped and called the N-word?
True story.
Yo, ain't no job in the world. Like, are they paying him $1 million or something?
So I don't talk to this dude, right? Now, I was on a few corners or fake tough guy or whatever, but every day this dude want to do something, like want to challenge me. But he still played the dude that smacked him calling the N-word. He hates me. I never did nothing to him. I never spoke to him, never owed him nothing. But he can't stand me. He want to take chances to see each other and gun each other down. But he play with them. I can't phantom in my mind. Every day me and the guard,
like he cool with the dude who slapped him.
And every day me and the guard talk about this Willie Lynch or whatever. Every day we talk about this. The same mentality.
Well, before you even answered that, right? Because you kind of you brought up the last.
Me neither.
No, but you brought up the last topic that I was gonna bring before we close out the show. And is self-hate the reason why we overreact when someone from our own community just does something minor to us, but we let others get away with harming us in such a major way? Like, you just gave a perfect example of it.
That's a fact. Like I'm saying, I done been like this is my cousin. Me and him had conversations before, like police pulling us over. I don't know if he brought the scenario up, brought the scenario up. They said, what if? They said, what if police smack you?
I'm in the military. I never had a bad interaction with police.
No,
I have been stopped
listen.
a number of times.
They said, one of us said, what if police smack you? What you gonna do? And 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna do nothing. Now, let's deal with society and the media. They say all blacks carry weapons. All blacks are thugs. What if I smack you? What you gonna do? You gonna try to take my head off? That's a high chance I have a gun.
But that's
on
authority,
me.
though.
No. But it's the same chance I may have a gun on me. Why are you gonna transgress against me?
No, you know
what
what?
I'm saying?
I agree, but then I don't because it's a different type of Like, if that cop didn't have that authority over me and he did that, we gonna have the same reaction. I'm gonna tussle it out with you.
Now
But
listen,
I know
if Billy
I'm
come
gonna
over and
lose
slaps
either
me,
way.
and Billy look like he's just Billy, not part of NYPD or anything like that, he just look like a regular dude,
Yeah.
he's getting the wrath of God on his
Yeah,
ass.
you see what
But
I'm
if I
saying?
know he's a cop, I have to reassess the situation.
Because
that's
now
different.
you could win the fight and beat his ass, but then his boys is gonna come. You gonna get arrested. They gonna reverse the story, and somehow you gonna be guilty.
But I never said you do nothing to him. I'm just saying, why
Why you
you?
have to do nothing to him?
It's that they have fear. We just fear them. Listen, we going.
Overseer.
Nah.
KRS said it best. Overseer. The
I really
original
don't wanna-
police were the people that would go around and hunt for the escaped slaves. The slaves that escaped from the plantation. The original police or sheriffs, they had badges. Their job was to go find the escaped slaves.
Yeah.
And it just end up years later becoming police.
We just fear white people.
No.
I don't think we fear white people, but I feel like authority, right? It's because a lot of white people are in the authoritative position, so it causes a hesitation. The police aspect of it is a whole nother thing. I just feel like
Hold back to something. If I do something to you, chances are we're gonna pop off instantaneously. If they say somebody outside our race do something to us, we're gonna sit back and go. He gonna call the cops on us. We're gonna justify why we not gonna do something to him.
No, I don't think about that.
no, I kind of agree where you're coming from, because like think about it like this.
He gonna do this to me.
Sometimes you might bump into someone from another nationality and stuff like that. They say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking," and you just like, you know what? I would do something, but they're gonna call the cops. They're gonna get me in trouble. But a black dude step on your shoes and you swing off on him. You didn't think twice about they're gonna call the cops and stuff like that. You didn't even give him a chance. You didn't even give him a chance to apologize.
Not everybody's a hothead like that.
If you allow him to say sorry,
Not everybody's a hothead.
if you do say sorry, the next thing, but yo, you better watch it next time or something. You're not gonna just let it go.
It'd be extra.
We don't listen.
That's that fake tough guy talk.
Listen,
Is that fake tough guy talk, or we don't appreciate each other?
Honestly,
We don't love each other.
One thing I learned in life, one of the easiest things to do in the world is for one black person to hurt another black person. Takes no thought. It's
Don't get me
instantaneous.
started with that, man.
It's crab in the barrel.
You're gonna hurt those
crab in
that
the
are
barrel.
in your community. Those are the closest to you. 'Cause
Nah,
I thought about that.
when-
I was like, why would we riot? We don't go to the white
I
people
didn't say we
neighborhood
ain't talking
and mess
about
up all
that.
their
We
stuff.
ain't talking about- I'm saying-
No, I'm just saying. I hate that phrase, black on black crime.
No, but I don't really think he's thinking about. I'm talking about the appreciation of your fellow man. I don't think we appreciate each other as black men the same way.
No,
Like
we don't. We don't appreciate ourselves as human beings, period. Or you wouldn't have as much killing.
This
So
is
it's
what
not
we're
a
talking
black
about.
on black thing. It's
No,
not a
no,
black
no,
black
no,
thing. It's a
'cause listen,
man on man type of thing. Like
I think, listen,
nobody values life anymore.
we the only race of people that kill each other for maybe different color rags, red or blue. If I rock my head to the side or to the left, we actually kill each other, destroy our families, go to prison for simple shit.
Other people
mobs
do it
over
too,
there.
but it's more
Irish
prominent.
mobs,
It's
there's
more prominent in our
Italian
neighborhood.
mobs. They are in different
Right.
sects and different
Right.
gangs. They kill each other too. So I don't like that. We put that all on us. Yes, we have our flaws where there's gangs and they killing people in gangs.
So-
but it wouldn't matter if you was a white dude in that gang. You gonna die just like the black dude in that gang because you in that gang. It's not about because you black.
So
You see what I'm saying?
we're coming to the end of the show, but the topic was self-hate, right? So I'd like you to give, a closeout on self-hate.
Self-hate.
Your perspective as far as, do you think it's an issue that we suffer in the black community?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I would say yes because
Well, okay,
But
Bacardi
this-
go
this-
first.
a lot of people, I'm not gonna say black people, a lot of people don't feel like they shit. You know, so a lot of times we dress like we got it. We wear $400 belts, $800 sneakers, but we live in an apartment, the mattress on the floor, and we got a bed frame. You know what I'm saying? We want to look good, to feel good.
It's a lot of bad Instagram girls with
Right.
no bed springs,
So,
yo.
we do things because we don't like ourselves just to make ourselves feel good. And then I would do anything in my power to make you feel bad right now. I could get my aunt's car and pull up on you. Burr, burr, like I'm stuck. It's my aunt's car. It's a station wagon. But long as you on the bus, long as I can put you down and make you feel good. It's like, long as we on top of each other on that crab and the barrel thing, we don't like each other, man.
What about you, Sensei?
I wouldn't describe even
I
that
love black
situation as self-hate, though. It's not self-hate. It's wanting to feel more, I guess, worth. You know what I'm saying? When you grow up in certain communities that we've been in, grown up in, or whatever, you know, that community will have you thinking that you're not worth much. You see what I'm saying? So I guess people try to change that idea with the monetary items that they can get at time to time and stunt and feel better about themselves. I find it hard to understand people. There are people out there who do hate themselves. When you look on these talk shows and you're like, black women that only date white men, or black men that only date white women, stuff like that, that's self-hate. Like, why would you limit who you want to fall in love with because you hate yourself? As far as the whole monetary stuff, I just think that's people wanting to feel good about themselves. I'm not saying it's right. It's still somewhat ignorant, because that putting some Italian designer's name on your body does not make you worth more. But, you know, I think that's learned behavior. And it's learned behavior because they see what's going on around them. I'm a very confident person, borderline cocky, some would say. And I think the best quality I have is I don't really care what other people think about me. And I think if more people had that idea, they would be better off, because you're not living for other people. You're living for yourself. You're living for your kids, your significant other, those people that matter in life. And those people are not focused on the designer you're wearing or what you can do for them. You know what I'm saying? When you can realize that, you will lose all that self-hate stuff. That's the thing.
That's deep. I'm going to close it out on saying we do have an issue on self-hate, and it's manifested in so many different ways. I was having a conversation yesterday, and someone told me they was upset to see Serena Williams impregnated and about to marry a white man.
I was
and
upset by that too.
And he was saying how could she run to the white man? You know, the black community been supporting her for all life. And I said, you know what? Love is a love thing, right? Because we can't always say, oh, someone did that. The person actually said that, oh, she ran to the white man because the white man had wealth and stuff like that. But I'm like, she has her own wealth. And then another thing I said is, it's also a self-hate thing, because think about it. On the majority of times when we hear Serena Williams even reference, we always talk about how she's thick, or her athletic prowess. Not no one, but a lot of times people don't say she's a beautiful black woman. She's attractive. She what represents beauty. It's always her physical attributes, her big butt and stuff like that. And I told him, she's not appreciated in our community the way that she should be. We appreciate her accolades and her gifts, but we never view her beauty. We never big up her beauty and stuff like that. You know, the whole dark skin, light skin thing in our community, that's still, you know, remnants of slavery and stuff like that, a fair skin, stuff like that. But my thing about it is another aspect of self-hate that we're all guilty of as well is, think about it. How many times do people concentrate efforts on saying, you know what, that neighborhood's bad, I'm going to work on building that neighborhood back up, putting programs to make that neighborhood back up, making that neighborhood good again. No, what do? We get our money up, and then we go move into a neighborhood that we're not appreciated, that they don't want us in. You know what I'm saying? That they get angry once we come into those neighborhoods. Why? Because when we bring the black people into neighborhood, quote unquote, the value go down. We need to concentrate on building up our own neighborhoods. And that comes with building economies, right? We don't have a strong economy. Our economy goes one way. It goes out. The money we make goes out of our neighborhood. The money we make goes out of our family. And it goes into other people's families and other people's economies. So it is a self-hate thing because when you don't look at another person who looks like you, who's trying to do something, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to try to support them as best as I can. If that's not your agenda, if you laugh at them and be like, yo, look what they're trying to do, and then you blindly go support someone who don't care about you, who don't do anything for you, that is a form of self-hate. Support. And that's how we're going to end the show this week. So, as always, at the end of a podcast that I do, I allow people to do shout-outs and give final thoughts. So, go ahead, guys. Whoever want to go first, do your shout-out and your final thought.
I'm going to shout out my oldest daughter, my beautiful daughter, Kayla. She just had her prom, junior high school prom on Friday. Shout out my younger daughter, Kira. She just turned 10 yesterday.
Happy birthday, Kira.
Happy birthday, my love. And my two little minion boys, MJ and Carmelo, 5 and 2. They're crazy, but I love them to death. Shout out everybody who showed me love on IG. I don't even know how to say my IG name, tell you the truth. I made it difficult. It's no one higher, but I'm trying to look it up right now, which is crazy. It's NO_H EYE_R, something like that.
Ain't no one gonna remember that, so you're gonna have to post that in the comments.
Yeah, I'll post that. Holla at me on Facebook, Mike Wynn. That's my name. I got Wynn in my last name because that's all I'm trying to do. That's all I will do. And I hope y'all enjoyed this pilot episode of Views from the Friend Zone. It's only gonna get better. Let my man Bacardi Dark tell you a little something.
Y'all just be safe out there, man.
That's it, right?
That's it.
Be safe out there. Y'all be safe, though. It's your boy, Real Talk Marv. Views from the Friend Zone is a new podcast. Continue to support those who follow me from my previous venture. Thank you very much. Those who are new to the show, thank you very much. I have this new podcast. The title Views from the Friend Zone doesn't necessarily mean everything is going to be about the friend zone. It's just a vantage point that I bring because of my experiences. But as you can see with my talented co-hosts, they have wild, crazy minds of their own. They ain't got nothing to do with the friend zone. And I'm going to leave you guys on this, right? There's 2 dates that are important in your life. It's the day that you're born and the day that you die. But there's a dash that's put in between it. Make that dash mean the most that it can. Make that dash mean full of memories, love, and support. Support your people. Let me tell you, it's hard. We all have competition. We all have things in life that's pushing us back. The best thing you can do is support someone else who's trying to do something, especially someone who looks like you. I'm not saying be discriminatory. I'm just saying other races find a way to support each other and have no issue with it, and we are often made to compete against each other. Spread love is the only way. That's how we're going to head out.
It's the Brooklyn way. Yeah. We out?
Yeah, we out.
Yeah.
Now,
You gotta go out with the music, right?
I gotta find a way to be honest and want to curse. I feel I couldn't curse. Man.
Yeah, you was mad, like hesitant, and you gotta let it loose and say what you want to say.
Sometimes
You will. I think it's just your first time.
No, not just that. Though. I just want to, I ain't want to start no confusion. But when I'm because she don't know I did a high house neither. Don't you?